Welcome to another ASMR-esque inspired video, and today, or this week, I want to focus on a little get ready with me ASMR slash makeup slash whatever you want to call it. But essentially I'm just going to be putting my everyday, maybe it's not my everyday, it's a little bit elevated everyday makeup routine, and I'm gonna do a little like tips and tricks because I love makeup. Yeah, and this is just the steps that I take to achieve a cute little look. So without further ado, let's get right on to it. My hair is drying, as you can tell. She's a little bit wet, so I'm gonna air dry and then at the end do something that like gives it volume because my hair can be really flat. So with makeup, right, before you even start makeup, you need to really think about your skin prep, because if your skin isn't prepped properly, then your makeup isn't going to apply as nicely. And if you're somebody like me that has very specific skin, as in my skin, I like to call her like a little diva. She likes to do what she wants, so I can't just apply makeup and hope for the best, unfortunately. So with skin prep, what I tend to do is I do under eyes, serum, moisturiser and then sunscreen. So we're starting off with under eyes, but put like a tiny amount, because if you put a bigger amount, if you put more creams basically on your skin, then there's a higher chance of the makeup peeling and not sitting on your skin properly. I use this Inky List caffeine eye cream. I don't see great results, but I also don't see not great results. Do you know what I mean? It's just like a mundane, it just does what it needs to, but it doesn't like brighten my under eyes or get rid of my under eye circles, because I think the genetics are too strong for that. Then I go in with a serum. I like this Purito one, which is it's Korean based, so you know the skincare is really good, but this is for reactive sensitive skin. And a serum just is like an extra layer for your barrier, your skin barrier to have. And my skin's been a bit problematic recently because I started using retinol, and my skin is just really sensitive, so she's reacted a bit. So I don't know if you, yesterday was a bit strong, but I had like a little rash here, which is also my skin's way of saying, yeah, let's not do that, let's stop. So I stopped. Because also when you start retinoid moisturiser, I use this Bioma one. It's really great for people who break out easily. This is my one. Going back to retinoid, I can't say the word properly today. Yeah, going back to that. When you do start using it, after you apply your retinol, and it has to be at night, then you have to apply a serum on top of it, because basically what it does is it strips back layers of your skin so that it can regenerate, rejuvenate and create new skin cells, so that it gives you a younger look, like scientifically proven, you know. However, because you're getting rid of a skin layer, you need to add layers back, otherwise what happens is you start to get really dry patches, or you start to get rashes because it's too harsh on your skin because you're not adding the moisture back, which is what happened to me because I forgot to add my serum, which is this, after I used the retinol in my evening routine, and my skin was just crying out for help. So if you do start using it, definitely do your research as well. I'm quite tempted actually to do like a whole video talking about skincare and what it means, because I've accumulated a lot of information over the years, because my skin was she was perfect one day, and then another day she woke up and she was like, yeah, I'm going to just be a problem for the rest of your life. Love that for me. Yeah, so that's why I know quite a lot on skincare. And now I'm going in with another Korean skincare brand, Purito, which is, I meant to say, another Korean skincare product, Purito, from Purito. There we go. This is the Daily Soft Touch sunscreen. If you just want like a really, really good, not basic, because this does a lot, sunscreen that protects your face and more, because this has got SPF 50 plus. This one is great. It is a bit on the pricey side. I think it's £16, but I can't lie, this lasts me like 3 months, so it's kind of worth it. If you divide 16 by 3, do the maths. I'm not the greatest at mental maths. Then actually it's not that expensive, or that's how I view it. Maybe that's to make myself feel better, who knows. Before I go in with primer, I'm going to go in with my eyebrow gel from Got To Be, which is basically like inspired by the Refine one, or the good old soap and brows technique, which is just dipping a spoolie into some soap with water, and it does essentially the same thing. And the reason why I'm doing my eyebrows now is because my primer is really illuminating, really glowy, so if I was to put that on top of my eyebrows, this product is just going to slide off. So, because I want my eyebrows to also be in place, I'm going in with this first. And there does come a lot of product in this spoolie, so what I tend to do is what you can see here, it's me just like brushing it back so that it makes sure that all the hairs are in place, and then I trace my eyebrow shape. I've literally never done anything to my eyebrows, and I don't think I will. I'm tempted to get them thinned, but then I'm like, what's the point? My eyebrows are fine. I'm too scared to mess it up. I'm also looking at the monitor there, so I need to like center myself. Again. I tend to work a little bit quickly with this because it dries relatively quickly, and you want to make sure that when it's dry all the hairs are down and in their place. But also, like, I don't have that much like facial hair, so I don't really need to touch it, do you know what I mean? Even though I love a bushy eyebrow, and I wish I could grow my eyebrows to quite bushy and thick, but it's not the way I was made, not my genetics. Then I'm going to go in with it, my favourite, as you can tell, it's got marks everywhere, illuminating primer from 17, which is basically the younger version of number 7. I say younger, I think it's just cheaper, but it's probably targeted at younger people, younger audiences. But this is really, really good, especially if your skin is really dry, which, hello, my skin is combination, but recently she's been having her dry moments. So in order to add like some moisture back, I like to use a glowy primer. Oh, that was a bit too much. That's alright, I'll just do. And see how also I'm like avoiding my eyebrow area, like my actual eyebrows, because one, I don't want them to also be glowy. That's not going to be cute, or it's not the look I'm going for. I'm going to get where is it? Here. Put a tissue and just wipe away the excess. Whoopsies. And before I do the next bit, I also like to let it sit on my face for a couple of seconds rather than going straight into applying makeup, because it allows for the tackiness to form, to start. I'm gonna have my little iced coffee, my go-to drink every day since I started liking coffee, which has been years. I used to hate coffee, especially espressos, because back home everybody loves an espresso. But my go-to was an oat iced latte, and I think I like iced more than warm because it also hydrates you because of the ice cubes. It's a bit watery, but like, because coffee sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the time dries out your mouth and dries out just in general. It's quite dehydrating, which isn't great when you're having like, I only have 2 coffees, but there's sometimes where I've had 3 or 4. Some were decaf, okay, it's not great, but with iced coffee at least it's got a bit more hydration, so it's not as like drying on your throat. Right, we're gonna go with ice. So that's not the brush I want. Weird noise. This is the brush I want. I'm gonna do a look that I've done for a really long time that I really love. So I'm gonna start with a brown eyeshadow, and then I'm just gonna put it in the sockets of my eyes, just very lightly. And then I'm blending it literally back and forth. Now gonna go in with my, oh yeah, also this is from Sleek makeup, which I believe now it's only Boots, but they do really good eyeshadows. I've had this eyeshadow palette for ages, but their eyeshadows used to be the ones back in the day. And then I'm gonna go in with, yeah, a darker cool toned brown from this palette, 18 Karat Matte Essentials from Morphe. Got this on ASOS. It's actually a birthday gift, which is really lovely. I love a gift, love a birthday gift. Yeah, and I'm just gonna put that brown in the same place just to add more dimension, really. Again, just blend away. Cool, stunning. Now I'm going to get a flat brush. I'm going to go in with a lighter colour. It's like a light beige and then a deeper beige. I'm just putting it here on my eyelid, so my eyelid has a bit of a colour. Doing that on the other side as well. Then I'm going to go back with the blending brush and just blend everything up here where my brush is, so that it all looks like a seamless blend, and that I just haven't added 3 different colours together. It's like, oh, this was meant to happen. And also blend here at the top, so it's that thing of like you don't really know where it starts or where it ends. I'm satisfied with this. We're going to come back to the eyes a little bit later because I'm going to add something else to them. Before then, I'm going to put this here so I can see what I'm doing. And we're going to go into the face. So I'm going to start with one of my favourite concealers, which is this one from Revolution. And I'm just lightly dabbing it in the places that it needs to go. This is like layer 1. So again, very light. With this is the Eye Bright Illuminating, and the reason why I like this is because it's really illuminating, but also it's really hydrating. It's kind of like a mixture between a concealer but also skincare, which is really useful for my under eyes because I have really dry under eyes. And when you add skincare to products, it kind of liquefies them a little bit, so they're not as matte or as pigmented, which I don't mind because we're adding layers, but also means I get a bit of hydration in my under eye area, which I really need. And then just gonna blend and I think that cost me like, I believe it was like £4. So she's very affordable. Right. Now that that's blended, also I'm using using an eyeshadow brush to blend the concealer, because then it means you pick up less product. Like I've got here. Pick up less product meaning you don't cake the makeup on, which is good again if you have really dry skin or dry under eyes, because this is the area that creases the most, because also you're looking everywhere the most and fine lines and all of that. So it's a good little tip to use an eyeshadow brush. Then I'm going to go in with my favourite makeup, what are you called? Foundation, that's what you're called. This is the True Match one, and I love her because it tells you the undertones. This is a cool undertone, 2R, 2C. I love that because I think I'm neutral, but also I tend to have a little bit more of like pinky reds, which means like undertone is cool. And when you're looking for a foundation, you really need to be looking at the undertones, because that's what's going to stop you from either looking too pale or too orange or too mixed matched. So this is what I do. I don't apply it to my face. Back of the hand. She's running out. That should be enough. 2 pumps. Flat brush. Do this, tap it, and then apply it to your face. And what it does, it means you don't pick up too much product, which again is really good if you have dry skin, because for example this foundation is more on the drying spectrum, so it's not like a glowy satin finish, it's more mattifying, which I don't mind. Again, I love the coverage, and you don't have to use a lot to get what you want, which I really like. Again, I don't like it when you can feel that there's loads of makeup on your face. And also this technique of first putting it on either the back of your hand or like a makeup palette is used by makeup artists. Because if you look at like videos of makeup artists, whenever they're putting on foundation, they're never just dabbing it on, like putting it on the skin and then blending it. They always tend to blend at the back of their hand or like a palette somewhere. And I don't know where or how or why we started seeing that everywhere, especially like TikTok and like Reels and Instagram and stuff. But that's not really what most makeup artists do, so yeah. And also, again, if you have really problematic skin, as in like I can't just apply things to my face and no matter what I do, like it will look good. No, I need to actually put in effort to make my makeup look good, especially on my skin, because I don't know, she's just particular. And also I have like clogged pores, or I used to have a lot of clogged pores, so as soon as you're like slapping something on, it just highlights it even more. So I've had to find like different ways and different techniques of doing my makeup that I in the way that I like, but also that's natural and not too cakey for me, because my skin can't hack that. She's, as I said, she's a little diva, so I have to be careful with her. And then also just blend in to your neck, because naturally we're two different shades, because also like if you, like I do, use retinol, you're always getting a new skin layer, so your skin's going to be a different colour. Cool. And then I'm going in with my other favourite concealer, which is from Lancôme Tête d'Idole, I believe, yeah, Tête d'Idole Ultra Rare. And this is a mattifying one, but it's quite liquidy and it isn't like a heavy application or heavy product in itself. Like the Hourglass one, I tried it on, it's very heavy, so it's not that great. I wouldn't say for dry under eyes. People who have dry under eyes, not great. Great if you have oily skin. But this one is a bit better. I'm just gonna dab it here. If you do have dry under eyes, and also like I like to put it at the corner of my eyes and then here and here to give like a more uplifted look. And I try not to go in like more than once, because again it just cakes up my skin, and because she's a bit on the dry side just in general, it like sits on the creases of my eyes and the creases of my face, which does not look cute in real life. And then it also starts to crease in certain areas, so then you start to see makeup just not sitting properly, which I don't like, and I'm sure many people don't like to see it on themselves as well. But there's some people that can just apply like loads of concealer under their eyes, blend, and it doesn't really crease, no matter their age, no matter anything, and it's all to do with their skin. So it's also good to know like what skin you have, what type you have, what undertones you have, what works, what doesn't. And like one of the ways of doing that is just by experimenting, isn't it? Which I've done a lot of, because I used to be obsessed back in the day with makeup, watching makeup videos on YouTube. And now look, I'm teaching you guys some things that I've learned along the way. I would usually put concealer on my spots, but my spots are like on their last few days, so you can't really they're not really like a huge feature in my face, so this coverage is like more than enough. Lovely. Now I'm going to go in with contour, which I've got the e.l.f. one, which is basically, I believe, a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one. I don't know if it's like same consistency or same, what's the word, if it lasts as long as the Charlotte Tilbury one, because I've never tried that one because it looks really intense to me. When you put it on, I'm like, oh. So I'm putting contour just here and then underneath here, and then I'm just, with the product that I have, I'm just dragging it up. Whatever I have left on the brush. And again, contour is also different from bronzer. Contour is about like chiseling and adding shadows to the face. Bronzer is about making the face look bronzed, which, like, I didn't realise there was a difference, do you know what I mean? And also, I'm gonna lightly contour my nose. I don't really do much for nose contouring, I never really have. But recently I've gotten just to kind of highlight a few bits, which is just the tip of my nose and then this bridge bit. Because I never contoured it because I was like, my nose is already so, I don't know, she already stands out by herself, she doesn't really need a contour. But it just accentuates like what it needs to, which is really sweet. There. And as well, like with this cream product, I always, or liquid, use a flat brush because it's easier to maneuver the product. Then I'm going in with blush. I got this one from Studio London, and I think it was like £5 from Studio London. Is from Superdrug. But I'm on the hunt to find a really beautiful, like, not berry red, cherry red, maybe just a red blush. I haven't found them anywhere. I've seen them quite a lot, like on TikTok or online, but not actually like available to buy. I don't know, I just haven't found the right cherry red or the right red that I want in a cream blush. So if you've got any tips on where to look or who to look for in terms of brand, let me know. And again, I put it at the back of my hand, dab, 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 face. Oh. And again, this is like layer 1 because I'm going to finish with powder. Cool. So I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and this big bronzer powder from Revolution, and this has got cool undertones, which is great because guess what? I have cool undertones too. We're just two cool people. And I'm going like this, dusting it off the back of my hand, and then going in with whatever's left. A very light hand as well. I also really like this blush. This isn't blush, the bronzer. I think it's really pigmented for the price. And I think it gives a really, really nice bronzed look. I just trace my nose a little bit to make sure that the contour is blended, but also to add a bit more dimension. Cool. And then I'm going in with some powder blush again. I'm going to dab here, dab at the back of my hand. This I got from Primark, you know. It's got Sangria because I was like, this is quite similar in terms of colour to my cream blush. So I was like, this is going to work as a great pairing. So that's the other thing, because not a lot of makeup brands do like a cream and powder blush in the same shade. They're usually very different shades. Or like similar, but not the same. So sometimes it's hard to find what you want and what you're looking for. So I got that, that's fine. Then I'm now gonna go, should I do it now? Or should I do it after that? No, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna go back to my eye palette from Sleek, and there's this beautiful, it's one of my favourite shades. It's like silvery, there's no name, silvery colour. So any just shimmer, any silver shimmer. And I'm going to add it in the inner corner of my eyes. And really like pack it in. Oh, ow. Like there. Also, the reason why I'm going silver instead of gold, you could go gold, but it's because I've used like a cool toned base. I can't speak now. Cool toned palette. That silver just looks really nice with that. And also when you like highlight the inner corners of your eyes, it just makes them pop and makes them look bigger. So if you've got smaller eyes, this is a little trick that you can do. If you've got big eyes, accentuate them even more. Stunning. Love. I've got a little eyelash. Oh, no, there we go. Cool. Then I'm going to go back with a concealer brush and dip it into some pressed powder, not translucent powder, pressed powder, because again there's also a difference, which I didn't know till quite recently, and I was like, oh, now it all makes sense. And again, dabbing it into the powder and then the back of my hand, especially when you're going underneath your eyes like this with powder, it's going to dry them out. And it's gonna, if you use too much pressed powder, it's gonna highlight the creases, which is something I don't want. It's probably something you don't want either, so this is a good way to like avoid that. And what I do as well is like here, I like cut off like where the bronzer was, because it gives it a more chiseled effect. All about the shadows. Shadows and the highlights. Stunning. And now we're going to go on to eyelash curling. There's this little trick which you can use, but be careful because it can go wrong. So you get eyelash curler and a lighter, literally 5 seconds. Let's go. This. That's more than enough. Kind of let it cool down before you even put it anywhere near your eye. see how I'm touching it like this? It's like, okay, it's still a bit warm. Okay, now it's fine. And then go in and curl your eyelashes. And this is really good if you've got like really stubborn straight eyelashes like I do. Again, learned this from a makeup artist. And it really does make them curled. It's quite amazing. But please be careful when you're doing this, because I've done it where I thought it was safe, and then I ended up crying because I was like, oh my god, that's a bit too hot. And then I got given this mascara from Lancome, the Idol mascara. It's like a little freebie thing when I bought the concealer, and at first I didn't like it. I was like, oh, I don't know if it's worth the price. I think it's like £30. I was like, I don't know if it's worth it. But after trying it more and more, I'm like, actually, I'm kind of low-key loving it. Because of the formula, so it's not too wet. I think it's more like a gel formula. So it actually holds the curl in place for a really long time, which I struggle with sometimes. Like, I've used Maybelline mascaras before, which I do love them, but they're a bit almost too watery, so they weigh my eyelash down. This almost reminds me of their Real mascara from Benefit, which to this day has been literally the best mascara I've ever tried in my life. And see how it just stays curled? It's so cool. I'm saying it's so cool, I mean that's what it should do, but when you've got straight eyelashes, it's so hard to curl them. Cool, that's that. And then I'm gonna have another little iced coffee break. Oh, lovely. I also like down my coffee all the time. I don't know where I put my... There she is. So we're going into lips. So I'm wiping away the foundation that I've accidentally, travelled down to my lips. And I'm using with my favourite lip liner, as you can tell. So this is from NYX, and it's called Mauve. I'm going to outline my lips. So the reason why I love this is because it matches my natural lip colour. So one tip is to find a lip liner that matches your lip colour, and then keeping that for the rest of your years, because it's a way to also make your lips look bigger than what they are without making them look like it's unnaturally lined. And also it's like you accentuating your natural lips, which is such a cool thing. I love it. And then I've got this Lip and Boost Shine Gloss from 17. I didn't know this is one of those glosses that like tingles and makes your lips bigger. It did say Boost and Shine. The reason I got it is because it's so vivid. See what I mean? Like the gloss is glossing. And I loved that. So that finish it off. And I would usually put a setting spray, but the setting spray that I got, I kind of realised that actually it was making my makeup split and my skin was not agreeing with it, so I stopped. But usually I would put setting spray so it lasts all day. Yeah, this is the finished makeup look. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was insightful, and maybe next time I'll do a little like ASMR version of skincare. But yeah, stay tuned and I'll see you next week.